All right, we got Kyle Snyder-Olivares, not the creepy Kyle Snyder, but like the good wholesome one.
Oh my gosh, poor thing, Kyle.
Head coach UFC Mililani. He was one of the. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. So he used to train jiu-jitsu as a child, way back when like no one knew what jiu-jitsu was. You are probably the first one in Hawaii. I'm pretty sure you're the first one in Hawaii, but maybe the first American to do that, like to start as a, like, what were you, like 10 or something when you started? Nine when you started. So by the time everyone was like, hey, there's this thing called jiu-jitsu, Kyle was already black belt level. And then we have Zach, who is one of his students, one of the purple belts out at Mililani UFC. And you've been on a few super fights. You've had some success in some tournaments. I don't know them off the top of my head. Sorry, you got sprung on me lately. But
Fight to Win, Submission Battleground, Naga.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So experienced competitor. Yeah. I've rolled with him. He's a monster. He jacks me up. So it's always fun. So welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
It's really good. Really good having you guys here. Can we talk about the program at UFC Mililani?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Where do I start?
Because you're recently, the last...
Since October.
Okay, so so 6 months,
recently.
7 months. Recently took over that position. So what's that like? Running your own program at a big gym?
Oh, it's great. Jay left like a great foundation, so that the classes run the warm-ups by themselves. I have Zach and a couple other people who like are the generals of it, so I'm just there. I'm just like, hey, let's teach this. I try and see what the kids need to work on, or like the basics. We have such a short window for the kids and then the adults, so I figure something basic to teach them. Instead of getting fancy. And then what's nice about the UFC is a lot of the students, they train elsewhere. They go to other academies.
Okay, so you get a lot of different looks and stuff. That's good. You used to teach at like different gyms, but like jiu-jitsu gyms. How does that differ from like a large chain to like a private studio type thing?
I get paid for this, which is nice. I get paid.
Wait, you weren't getting paid? We would have to go on wherever you were teaching. Pay your jiu-jitsu instructors. Yeah. Like a black belt in jiu-jitsu is like having like an advanced college degree. Like they should make at the very least more than minimum wage. So like I would say like $25 at least for a class, and classes run an hour and a half. That's not very much. Pay your jiu-jitsu instructors. All right, sorry. Anyways.
No, so some of the gyms did pay, and then after a while they stopped paying, because you got to upkeep the rent, right? Which is fine, and I feel like I could teach jiu-jitsu for free.
Right. I think we all would. Yeah.
So that's what's nice about the UFC is like I show up and I feel like time just flies by because I'm just having fun, But I get paid for it, free gym membership, and all the AC, clean smelling gym. It doesn't stink. I don't need to mop.
You guys have that like the red light therapy and the cryo chamber there and everything. You have access to that? Mm-hmm. Have you been doing that? Mm-hmm. Does it work?
It works. The first time I tried the cryo, a lot of pain that I had for years went away after the first treatment.
Really?
Yeah, after the first 3 minutes.
I tried it once. I hate the cold. I hate the cold. I'm such a bitch. I've tried the cold plunges. I last like 25 seconds, but the cryo was like, I think I was on there for almost 2 minutes. I think you gotta do it a couple times to really stuff starts working. Yeah,
I just went straight to the coldest, like 3.5 minutes, like the coldest. But it's good. The secret, I think, is after the sauna. Then you do that.
Oh, so you got some like internal heat going on. That's good. It's really good. Yeah. And then Zach, are you helping coaching? Are you running classes out there? What are you doing?
I help. We split the kids class up 3 ways. We split like the little kids, the beginner, and then the level 2 side. So I run the level 2 side with the preteens, like 10 to 13.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then he runs the level 1 side.
What is the age on that level 1?
Anywhere from 5 to whatever. It's more the belt level.
Okay. Okay. And you've deliberately done it that way? Like you want the beginners? You want to give him the intermediate?
Yeah.
Like setting that foundation is probably like the hardest thing. Like when you see someone that doesn't really know jiu-jitsu well teaching the beginners, it's like they're learning it wrong. Mm-hmm. And then when it comes to like learning, if you learn it wrong the first time, it's harder to break bad habits than it is to like just learn it right the first time.
Yeah, to me it's harder to teach at level 2 because it's way more fancy. I'm like it's too much movement for me. I want to stick to just here and just go there,
I don't know. What do you think the difference is? Obviously besides the skill level between the beginners and the intermediate? What do you think the difference is from your perspective?
Definitely,
Teaching-wise.
like the level of instruction for sure. For the level 1 side, you have to keep it very watered down, dumbed down.
Okay.
But with my kids, I feel I can kind of go into more detail and they can understand, which I feel is better for me because that's kind of my teaching style. I like to really break things down. And yeah, they just grasp things better, way better than the level 1 side can. But even just the age thing, like I have 2 kids on my side that are only 7.
Okay.
So yeah, like you said, it's not really age, it's just more like where they're at. But a majority of my kids are 11, 12, 13, and then with the exception of my 2 that are 7, but they're really, really
Those
good.
are the only 2 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
I think like unless you get those outliers, you remember Zach and Jessa when they were training, like they were such outliers. They were the only young kids that got it. Everyone else were normal 7-year-olds, and they're like, I don't know, put my leg here, I don't know, pull. And then they were like, can you explain the details of how to get the pressure here? But like you'll get those kids at 7 years old, and they're they're mentally like mature enough to actually start processing details. But I think like 10 to 13 they start to kind of get it, and like 13 on is like the magic. Like the average kid 13 to like when do you think it started clicking for you?
15, 16.
16. Yeah, it's like all of a sudden it's like I've been training for 10 years and I have all the movements and the motions, but now they start having strategy, and you can implement, like, it's not just the guard, but it's like how you get reactions and how you change stuff together. So I like that age range, like right when they start to figure it out. I think like 10 to 13 I think is kind of perfect. And then you get them at 13 and you can talk to them if they've been training, since they were kids. You can talk to them like adults. I mean, you can get into advanced tactics and everything. So.
Yeah. What I struggle with is like, you tell the kids, grab here, and they're like, right? But then when you tell them to spar, it's like a different person.
Yeah.
But you try and teach them a move, and they're like just futting around. You know what I mean?
I think it's an age maturity thing. It's gotta be, right?
I'm sure. I hope so.
So when you started, you were 9, and jiu-jitsu, like, it wasn't a thing. Like what year was that?
97.
97. So like we had a couple UFCs and stuff, but like people didn't know what UFC was. Yeah. Like you were doing jiu-jitsu because like everyone wanted to fight MMA. There were no jiu-jitsu tournaments, like not for prestige at least. How have you seen jiu-jitsu grow since like 9-year-old Kyle to? I remember I met you. You were probably low 20s maybe. Probably. Yeah, something like that.
Well, the biggest thing, like at Naga, they had 1,000 kids this year, right? And when had the first Naga, they were like rules: you have to wear a mouthpiece and a cup.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
And then I think Kip was my referee, and it was like 10 years old or 11 years old, and he's like, heel hooks are allowed, and I was like, okay. So I remember pulling guard and heel hooking.
9 years old.
Yeah, 9 years old, and he's like, stop, right? But it was just me and another kid.
Okay.
Right? And then the adults started,
That was the only two...
The only 2 kids?
There was probably no kids brackets back then. They were like, we have kids that do jiu-jitsu? Like, I don't know, we don't have rules for them.
And I was such a heavy... I was 119 pounds when I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that's why they had kids, but they had put me with, like, the teenagers or the adults, because no kid is my size, They're all, like, in shape. I was a fat little chubby boy,
Wow. That's crazy. Like, I guess like we didn't know how dangerous heel hooks were back then.
Yeah. But then seeing like how the belts, like the gray, white, and all that kind of stuff, because back then it was just the white, yellow, orange, green, 3 stripes each belt, and that was it. And now like the levels, right? You see these 5-year-olds at Naga, the only thing they're missing is strength.
Yeah.
From them beating us. Yeah. Yeah.
I got to train with a couple of young up and coming guys last night. And like they're 14, 15 years old, and I'm like, man, if you were grown up, you would have probably tapped me 2 or 3 times tonight. And they're like, oh no, I'm like, no, like seriously, the techniques there is just, I'm just stronger than you still, right? But that man strength, like I said, it's gonna kick in. They're gonna be 17, and I'm not gonna stand a chance.
For sure.
That's cool. Have you heard his story about how long he spent? Was it blue belt? How long he spent at blue belt?
Yeah, a day.
Okay. Can we talk about this? Because this is funny. Like nowadays, like, the organization is like, you got to spend this much time at this belt. You have to, compete here. You have to register, blah, 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 fees. Like Kyle spent 1 day at blue belt.
Yeah, it was great.
How did that happen?
It was Pan Am's. I forget what year, but I was 15. And everybody was going up, right? The whole team was going to go up. So then they didn't have kids level, so I put a blue belt on and entered the blue belt. That was great.
Just because. And you entered the adult.
It was juvenile.
Juvenile,
So I think
okay.
16, 17 was
Okay.
the age, but I was 15.
Okay. And they didn't check. They're just like, whatever, go. Okay.
And it was Helson, so I don't think anybody's going to argue with Helson, you know. And the crazy thing, like the thing that I appreciate or I like about that, so Holland and I were the only two juveniles. He took first, I took second in different divisions. We won the team trophy for juvenile. And I was like, that's great, you know?
That's cool. That's really cool. Wow.
That's great.
So then you went, you got out of there, and then they were just like, you're not a blue belt anymore?
No, I went back to the kids, but I think I was orange or green belt, and then when I turned 16, I got purple belt.
So you got promoted, demoted, promoted. They would have some verification issues with your belts now.
Oh yeah.
What was it? There's guys who have like competed, like medaled at major IBJJF tournaments that haven't registered since, and like the IBJJF is like, oh yeah, we don't recognize your black belt.
Wow.
Yeah. I've talked to 2 people that like they've hit the podium at either Worlds or Pans, and then they're like, oh yeah, I'm signing up. They're like, you haven't been paying your fees. You're not a black belt. And I'm like, huh? Like, wait a minute. So it's an interesting organization sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's talk about these attendance cards or attendance in general in gyms. How do you view promotions when it comes to attendance versus like merit and ability? And what do you guys do? And I guess it changes depending on who the lead instructor is.
I know some of the parents ask, and they're like, oh, my child's been coming this long, you know, in this many classes. And I know it's like 40 classes or something you get a stripe, or 30 classes.
For the kids, I think it's like 24, and then adults is 36, and then when you become a color belt, it's 72.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at UFC, once you hit blue belt as an adult, it's 72 classes for a stripe.
First right. Okay.
Yeah, but then after J left, we don't really go off of that anymore. It's just more like combination of, like you said, like attendance and skill. Okay.
Yeah, for me it's skill, because I don't want, you know, like you don't want the self-confidence thing.
Right.
Or the false confidence.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, I've been here 100 classes, I still don't have a stripe yet, but you fool around during class, you're not even trying the technique.
Yeah.
Right? You're not paying attention. And every class, I'm not going to say the student's name, but there's 3 brothers. There's 3 brothers. And they just fight with each other the whole time. Yes. Right? Okay. And so 2 of them started paying attention, so I striped 2 of them. And then the 3rd one, he always cries and everything. And he didn't get a stripe. So since then, I think like 2 different classes before class, he's like, Coach Kyle, I have a candy for you. He's trying to bribe me with candy for a stripe. And I'm like, well, just don't cry for 2 weeks. Yeah. You know? It still hasn't happened yet, but it's okay.
I mean, like there's some accountability for what you're doing, and there's gonna be a reward if you're trying harder and you're actually excelling. You went through blue belt kind of fast, right?
Oh yeah, I was only a blue belt for 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
How did that come? Were you just going to all the classes? You had the attendance? I mean, because you're good. Like you definitely weren't just some random blue belt.
I was training 7 days a week.
Okay.
Sometimes twice a day. So yeah, I kind of racked up that attendance. But I know Jay always kind of, especially with at least when me and Kavai were on the same team, our promotions were kind of, you know, based differently off of the other students because we were regular competitors.
Yeah.
So I know for sure, like our, on top of attendance, our promotions are also based off of like our competition performance.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And, you know, by the time I got my blue and then 1 year rolled around, like I was already like consistently tapping out like purples, browns. So like he just gave me the purple in December. Yeah.
So there's some ability based merit.
Yeah. So not exactly 1 year. It was like a year and 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
I got my purple. Yeah.
So like a year and 2 months, 30 days longer than Kyle.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we didn't do attendance. I don't think when we were coming up, right?
I think Mike they just had the computer you had to sign in.
Oh, I don't know.
At the door.
I think
do you remember at the computer?
The computer ended up popping up
towards the end, maybe.
Yeah, because I left. I moved away in 17, and I remember like you would scan in or you would put your name in there, but it wasn't there when I started. I started in 09, and it wasn't there when I started for sure.
Yeah, Chris would have like, poor thing, he would have long sheets that he would like manually check every day. Yeah.
I don't remember checking in. Like maybe I just missed it or something.
It's okay.
Yeah, I remember attendance being a thing, and then it became a thing, and then like I would talk to friends. They're like, "Oh yeah, we take attendance." And I'm like, "Oh, I guess that's good," but I never really thought about it. But then like I was traveling for work, so I would go like a month and come to like 2 classes. But like I was training, right? I was going to other places, but I don't know. Yeah.
And bowing was never a thing before.
How do you feel about bowing?
It wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't know that.
I like it. Like from going to judo, they say they told us to bow because when you respect the mat respects you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And the handshake thing, that's pretty new to me.
The handshake thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's gotta come from Brazil, right? Like slap bump.
Not sure.
I don't know. I feel like I've always been doing slap bump.
I feel like I had 2 surgeries, and I feel like when I left and I came back, it's like all these new different, like bowing was a thing the first time, and then I was injured again. I came back, and then the fist bump thing, and then all these guards and knees and heel hooks.
All right, speaking of bowing, what's up with why do you bow like this?
I don't know. It looks more.
Because everyone at the end of class, we always bow like this, and he always goes like this. It's like kung fu.
Yeah, kung fu.
Like the yin yang kind of
Something. It's easier than this because at least like this, like the guy will kick you in the face, but like this, like you're still blocking. Yeah.
Always got to be ready. That's why.
I'm gonna start doing it. But where'd you get? I got it from Kyle.
So my son Roman, when I say before he goes bow, he like does like a yoga tree pose and he goes bow and then he just like attacks.
Oh man, that's good. Yeah, bowling. I don't know. Okay, so like for the kids, because like I did judo, I do jiu-jitsu. Like for the kids, and this is gonna go into like how you address the person running the class, right? Because like there's a title, and then like the Brazilians are very much like professor, right? And if you go to other countries, like the term is usually something along those lines. Like in China, it's a lot of sifu. I've heard sensei in Japan. I've heard them refer as sensei. But like for kids, I get it because there's a. It's not just I'm teaching you jiu-jitsu, but I'm mentoring you in life and teaching you self-confidence and things like that. But like you're gonna have, especially you, like you're what 21?
I just turned 20.
Just 20. Okay, so like you're probably teaching in some capacity people older than you.
What was that?
Yeah, like you teach people that are older than you.
Oh yeah.
So like when it comes to addressing you, like what do they say? Like,
people just call me Coach Zach.
Yeah. Coach.
Yeah.
Is Coach? What do you go?
I like Coach.
Coach.
Because before the only professor was Professor Elio.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was another new thing. I'm like, I'm not a professor. Like I can't. Coach Kyle is fine.
I think for the kids, I'm good with Coach. Like I like Coach, but so someone older than you, they still like, hey, Coach.
For all the kids consistently call me Coach. In adult class, it's kind of mixed. Like, I feel like they feel weird calling someone younger than them Coach. So they just call me Zach. But some of them, it's like half and half. They'll call me Coach Zach. Okay. Some just Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, I never really know how to address it. I'll always I'll get the oh professor or whatever, and I'm like, dude, my name's Alika. And then like the second time I'll say it one more time, like, hey, you can just call me Alika. And if they don't do it from there, I'm just like, I just accept it, like whatever they call me. But there's some weird ones like I'm like, nah, I'm not really that. Like that's not really me. But oh hey, how's it going?
And when people try and say Sensei Kyle, I'm like, kids listen to senseis, but the kids don't listen to me, so it's just Coach,
It's weird. Like the word changes how they treat you. I don't know.
That's great.
Anyways, just like to get people's perspectives on that in general, like how they came up and then how they think of it now.
Yeah, when I came up, even Helson, we just called him Helson.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Professor or Coach Helson.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I forgot I have a name. You should probably use it. Okay, so UFC, the way that your structure is, they pay for like the gym membership, and then they don't pay for like classes. They pay for just the membership for the gym, and they can attend the classes, something like that.
They pay per class.
Okay.
Like for us and stuff.
Okay, but it's as far as
are you talking about privates or like? I think it means like the actual like
the classes, like attending class during the day type of thing.
Yeah, so there's different memberships, and then so I think just a regular gym membership, you just have access to the gym, and then when you upgrade, then you have access to the gym plus all the classes.
Oh, okay.
And then but then there's also privates, like you pay per privately. Yeah.
Okay. But like as far as like jiu-jitsu is a relatively expensive sport. Like the gym membership and like a real gym membership and then like a jiu-jitsu is still probably cheaper than most jiu-jitsu gyms. Right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, UFC is probably like the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's like less than, I forget the exact price, but less than 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
And-
for one person, or the whole family.
They have different plans, like family plans. I'm
Okay.
not too sure, but I know they have like family plans for like 4+ people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
And through medical, it's even cheaper through HMSA and Kaiser.
Okay.
I think it's like $45.99 a month, and you can. It's like the ultimate. You can
What?
take gym membership in all the classes that they have.
Really?
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's great. Dude, what you say?
HMSA and Kaiser. They
Really?
have like the active and fit program and stuff for their members.
That's a
You should
good
check
life
it out.
hack.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
it's really good. What do you think are the? I mean, obviously the advantages are you're going to get more people in because it's more affordable. But what are the advantages and disadvantages you guys see to that? Like the gym membership cost and everything.
I think one benefit for sure is like it definitely draws in more students.
Okay.
Like I know our kids' classes is pretty big. Like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's been consistently like 50 to 60 kids for the past few months. Yeah.
Wow.
And
probably
then-
get bigger in summer too.
Yeah,
50
and then
kids.
adult class, same thing. Like we'll have like 20+ people, but then the downside is it doesn't really, especially the what's the word, the stereotype or the stigma behind UFC gym. You know, they kind of see it as a McDojo, they call it.
Okay.
So I would say the downside is like, yeah, it's more affordable and it draws in more people, but it doesn't attract like the competitors or like the serious jiu-jitsu people. So the level isn't as high as the other gyms, I'd say.
Okay.
But you know, we make do with what we have. You know, we do have some pretty high level guys
Yeah.
at our gym. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
just
That's probably some really good guys at UFC.
yeah,
Oh.
like yeah, we have some really good guys at UFC, but just I would say the quantity isn't as big as, let's just say, like Trickster, Island Jiu-Jitsu. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that's got to be I don't know, like a jaded perspective on that. Because like if you go to any gym, like what's the competitor percentage? Like what would you guess? Like competitors versus like regular people percentage, like 10% maybe? Not even that?
Say it depends on the gym. Like if you go Trickster, like half of those guys are all.
No ways.
Yeah. I see like half those guys competing all the time.
I mean, they have a lot of competitors, but they have a lot of students. Like
True.
Like they've got to have 400 if you count the kids' classes.
Oh yeah.
Like 400. There's
Yeah.
no way 200 of them are regularly competing. Like you might get a guy like I'll try it out, but like name the competitors at Trickster that like consistently compete. It can't be 200, right? Like I think maybe they have a higher percentage. Maybe they're more than 10%. But like if you walk into a gym and you train with all the not serious people, like I'm awesome against some guy who's like 50 and has a day job and trains twice a week. Like regardless of his belt, I'm gonna smash this guy, right? But like you put yourself in the room full of competitors, purple belt, right? That competes all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like I suck. Like I'm just gonna sit here and try not to get tapped. But I guess like you have more people and then they see that, oh yeah, I went there and I did well. But you take the cream of the crop from any gym, I think like almost everywhere, right? What do you think it was back at O2, like percentage wise? Because there were a lot of people that did not compete and had no
more for the
aspiration.
exercise and the sport self-defense.
Self-defense,
aspect,
yeah. There was a lot of other classes, right? Guys they're coming for kickboxing, but they would just, I'll stick around for jiu-jitsu. They had no intention of being a jiu-jitsu competitor.
Yeah, especially if they're not, if they don't have those competition classes or training, and they're not promoting it.
Yeah.
Like when Shane, like if you take Shane's class,
Shane Agena.
yeah,
Yeah.
like 50 or 60% of the guys would compete, or almost 100%
That
of
room
his
was
guys.
crazy.
Yeah,
That room was crazy.
Oh, yeah, Shane's guys are good. Yeah, he sent me up there recently. Those guys are
Over
killers.
uptown?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Those guys are killers up there.
Like that's where I started. Like I started Justin Shane's classes. I knew no difference. I thought every round was like comp everything and like my first year of jiu-jitsu, I barely trained, but I only went to Shane's classes. I didn't know any difference, and it was no gi, and I didn't even own a gi my first year, and that's what I thought jiu-jitsu was like. But everyone in that room, I mean, you had guys, they would close out brackets, like not even like first place, like 1, 2, and 3 in like multiple brackets, and they would go in there. Remember their blue purple belt squad? It was like, man, like Jensen Kona, Justin Sato, Dorman was killer.
Tets.
Ted, oh my gosh, he was something else.
Oh, that guy murders me. Oh my gosh.
Whatever happened? Is he still training?
Yeah, he is.
Look, he was like man, he was phenomenal. He would take off like 3 months, not touch the mats, nothing. He'd show up eating donuts and then just come in and mop the floor with everyone. Yeah, Shane's room was good. Wow.
I think Shane, that's how good he is as a teacher, you know.
Yeah. Shane was a samurai. Like, his personality now, he's so nice, like calm and relaxed. Like he was not like that back in the day. Yeah, like, what are you doing? Don't do that. I just show that. Walk away from you. Like, sorry, sir. Oh, those are good times.
Those were really good times.
Can I tell a story the first time I met you?
Sure.
So you would come back from an injury. I was probably blue belt. But I had a bunch of comps. I went, like, my beginning competition record was phenomenal. Like, I thought I was going to be a black belt in 3 years type of thing. I was mopping the floor with everyone. I don't even think I got points scored on me. Like, I was just better than the white and blue belts. Kyle comes in and he was out of shape. He's coming back from an injury or whatever. I hadn't met him. Like, he was gone for over a year, right? And we're talking about, God, it was something really dorky.
Pokemon?
Probably Pokemon or like
it's not dorky.
WWE. I mean, it was something like, I mean, it might have been Candy Crush. It was something like whatever. And like we're sitting in the class and everyone's kind of sitting around. I don't know who he is, right? I think you were a brown belt at the time. Probably. And then he's like, "Oh, hey, you want to row?" And it was an open mat, so like we didn't have any class. Like he was obviously running the classes, but I don't know. And he just destroys me. I mean, is that half guard passes where he tripods up and then just?
Oh yeah, he still teaches that.
So he does that, and then he walks back in my guard, does like 3 times, just to like kind of prove a point. And then he mounts me and just chokes me, and I'm like, I go to this side, I'm like, there's a white belt just murdered me, and everyone's laughing. I'm like, who is this guy? That was Kyle. That's how I met you.
Thanks. I wasn't trying to prove a point. I'm just trying to work on
that day, you know, like your hammer, you're the nail. I wasn't even a nail, man. I was like a thumbtack. She was like, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, that was cool. That was my first memory of you. That was cool.
You know what my favorite memory of us is? When we try to go to the Big Island, what we always talk about.
Oh my God.
Worst experience of my life, but best experience because you won. You know what I mean?
I did win that.
You won that.
I did win that.
Yeah.
Those were three matches? You had 2, I had 3, something like that?
I had 2, yeah.
Yeah.
3.
Tell that story.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Everything that could go wrong. Right?
I have PTSD thinking about it. So we worked for an airline, so we did standby.
Standby
it's
flying,
called, right? So I think the tournament was in Hilo.
No, it was like Waimea.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, because we were gonna fly into Hilo.
So Kona. So it was Kona.
We were gonna fly into Hilo.
We were trying to fly, but we ended up flying to Kona. Yeah.
Remember we lost the rent-a-car.
So in the morning we're at the airport, and then like they literally held up the tournament for us. Yeah. Long story short, I think we finally caught a plane to Kona.
Yeah.
And then our friend Champ from the Big Island took us from Kona all the way to Hilo. And it was like a couple of hours, and Alika was even sleeping at the airport, just like we're waiting for the car, and it was like miserable.
And we still have to make weight.
Still gotta make
weight.
Still have to make
weight. I think I was like just at the weight that day. Like I just had a bad week, so I was just at the weight. I hadn't eaten like kind of 40 hours.
That was the worst.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we went to a tournament. Everybody was looking at us because they like literally held up the divisions for us. And we competed. I lost both of mine. Alika won gold, and
nowadays they just walk over you, yeah. Just DQ.
Yeah.
I think we're the only guys flying in. That's why.
Oh, okay.
I remember we got in there, and it was like the promoter came up and like, "How long do you need to warm up?" And your dad was there. It was like 20 minutes. He goes, "You got 10." we weren't even dressed. Like it was like throw your stuff on. I usually back then I was taping my fingers a lot. I was competing a lot in the gi, and like I didn't even have a chance to tape my fingers. It was like I got out there, I was just like break a sweat, break a sweat, break a sweat. I went from the warm up straight to the match. Like I didn't even have a time. You know, like you warm up, you kind of like bring it back down, then you go out there. I went straight from the warm up. It was like, oh my gosh, yeah.
When I think of you, I think of that trip.
That was fun. Yeah, I remember. Right, so we were trying to get the plane. Then we were like, we don't have a car. I remember we were like calling, and there was no rent-a-cars left in Kona. And we're like, well, at least we're on the Big Island. Like, we need to figure this out. Was it your dad that called Champ?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I got stuck. It was I remember the gold medal match. I got stuck in a triangle and I couldn't get out. And I remember it was Nick from Zapatero, maybe.
Not sure.
Maybe Novo Nhau. Anyways, I was up by a few points, maybe an advantage. I wasn't dominant in the match, but he sticks me in this triangle. I can't get out, and Kyle is screaming like, get out, whatever. And I was trying absolutely everything. And you know where you're like, I'm just gonna see if he can put me out, or I'm just gonna flex as long as I can, because I knew it was short time. I probably got stuck in it with like a minute 20 left in the match, and I was like, I've been in here for at least 35, 40 seconds. Like, there can't be that much more. And this guy is squeezing. Nick's squeezing he's pulling my head down, and I'm just like, I'm either gonna pass out or I'm gonna win. Like, that's all it was. And I can hear Kyle screaming, and I'm just like, please don't pass out. Please don't pass out. But yeah, time ran out. So.
Gold medal.
Yeah, gold medal. But that was an embarrassing win. It's like, you win.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I was like, oh yeah. That was
Zacheri and Hodger, right?
Oh,
he let Hodger break his arm just to escape and win.
Yeah. That was the only match I can think of where I won, where it was like, I just held on for dear life. Like, there was no, like, normally I'm trying to escape. I'm trying to assert dominance. I'm trying to beat the guy. Like, I was just like, we'll just see what happens at this point. Like, hold your breath as long as you can. Yeah. Nick was really good. Yeah.
All those guys, Ed, all of Niza's guys.
Yeah. They were really good.
Ed, he got me, when I fought him at that tournament, he got me in like some kind of De La Riva footlock thing, and I was like, whoa, it's like immense pain, and I couldn't get out of it. And I've never seen that before. You know?
He had a good couple years where, like, man, he was on fire. Like, he was beating everybody. It's just like, everything was clicking.
Yeah,
he still competes.
He still competes.
He's really good. Yeah.
That's why when he fought Joao, I thought, like, Ed's our guy to beat him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He's, just age catches up with it type of thing?
Probably.
Or just
I think, like Barrett, he had to move away to really succeed in tournaments.
Yeah.
Right? Because Hawaii guys have all the talent, like Jeremy, all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
But we don't have that mat experience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That really matters. That video with Joao and Ed, it went viral for like all the wrong reasons.
Oh,
you remember that slamming?
Oh, the head spike thing.
Yeah. So like, you're also the head ref at Submission Battleground, and the rule set says you can slam out a submission. Like you can slam out of a submission. So like, people were getting crazy about it, but like, you gotta know your rules. You gotta know what's legal and what's not legal. Like in that tournament, like you can slam an ADCC, right? Like, you can't be mad if someone slams you. It's part of what's legal. Yeah, that went wrong for all the wrong reasons.
And I think that's why the second time, Laka them said the no head spiking thing.
Yeah.
So that was great.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need to talk about a match. So one match I was reffing at the second submission battleground.
Okay.
Both guys had heel hooks on each other.
Oh.
And they're like, both of them, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I looking at right now? And all of a sudden you hear. I was like, oh, that's not good. Oh.
And then the next, we were at Ala Moana the next day, remember? We saw him at Ala Moana, full knee brace. You remember that? Yeah. He was standing in line somewhere, we were walking by, and I was, oh, that's the guy, like full knee brace.
Yeah, not worth it.
If I know I'm in trouble, I'm tapping. Like, there's going to be your freak natures. They're the ones where, like, the guy catches you in a weird position and, like, something pops or whatever. I'm going to tap, especially heel hooks.
Yeah. Oh, they're like, it looks like they were trying to bench press up 400 pounds. They're like both like this, like the face and everything. And you just hear it, and I felt like sick to my stomach.
I caught a guy in a 50-50 heel hook once, and I grabbed it. And it was one of those, like, I just grabbed it deep on the very first dig. And I was like, pop, 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 and I felt it. And I actually started to let go. And he looked at me and just kept coming forward. So I was like, and I did it again. Pop, 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 like 3 more pops. And he just kept fighting. And I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, what? Are you crazy? But yeah, some guys they'll just take the break. I'm like, oh, like not on an inside heel hook. I mean, honestly, not on anything. Maybe an arm bar, because like elbows, you don't need elbows. But everything else.
Yeah. No career ending.
Yeah, like I wouldn't take a Kimura break, Kimura rod plot. Like my shoulder, no ways. Like I'm tapping that early. Inside heel hook for sure. Maybe an outside heel hook where like you're already kind of working the escape. Yeah, probably not. But like, you know, like the toes, like whatever. You don't need toes. And like elbows, like you don't need elbows. Let's talk about reffing and judging, because like that's got to be, especially reffing. That's got to be the most thankless job like You're hated no matter what. If that match is close, you're hated no matter what.
Yeah. I love reffing. I love being the best seat in the house.
That's true.
You know, I love it. I could do it all day. Yeah. But yeah, the hardest thing, I think, what is the match that, I think, what's his, Maya? Maya's his name?
Oh.
Like, I don't know if he hates me for it, but every time I say hi to him, he like, what's up? And I'm like, oh man, I hope he doesn't hate me for this. Right? But I just got to say, like, that match, like, he was winning in my head. He was winning, and then Bruno, I think, got a couple good submissions. Yeah. And I was like, I got to, you know?
I watched that from, like, where the announcers were sitting. And I thought Bruno won. Then I watched the video, in which a different perspective, there's a lot of different angles, and I thought Maya won. And I honestly think, like, where you were sitting in the house that night, like, in the audience, like, it was so close. It was so close. And it's your fault. You left it close, right? Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, it's your fault. Like, you want a dominant win, like, tap the guy or dominate the entire match. But, like, I've talked to guys, and I think that one's kind of split down the middle. Either way, who won that match? Like, I don't know. Like, to this day, I'm like, I don't know. When I watch the video now, I'm like, I think Maya won it. But I remember, like, when Bruno won, I was like, oh yeah, Bruno won that. Like, yeah, Bruno won it. I think just the angle where everyone was sitting.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's hard. It's really hard. And then if you look at, like, any event, right, the judges, whatever vantage point they have, like, you can see or you can't see. Then there's gamesmanship. Like, when you have something and you know you don't have it, do you pretend like you have it? Like a submission? No. A lot of guys do that, right? They'll grab and they'll just like.
You can tell the way the guy's defending how deep it is.
Yeah. Even if I have it, I try to look cool. Like, I want my picture. The shot guys, I'm choking the guy. I don't know.
I'm glad, like, at Submission Battleground, there's 3 refs.
Yeah.
You know, so there's something that you guys might see that I don't see. Yeah. You know, so it's good like that.
Yeah. I think any matches that matter, like at this point, like black belt matches, like especially for adults, like they don't always go 3 refs. It's like you should just black belt matches, 3 refs, at least 2, but 3 refs, right? Because the margins are so close, and the matches are so close. What do you tell your competitors? Like, don't leave it close. It's your fault if you lose.
No. I just say, like, stay in the middle. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. Every match I've lost that I was close, I'm like, it was kind of my fault. Yeah, it was kind of my fault. I should have blown the guy. I should have tapped him. Yeah. Don't get too mad about it. Don't lose sleep over it.
Yeah, I love it. What's harder is reffing like Triple Crowns or like local tournaments. Because I remember one time just like reffing, and then I was so exhausted. Like, the match was going on and points were being scored, and my mind was just like blank. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on, you know? So the super fight kind of way to ref was nice. It's a little break.
Yeah. I like, you do a couple, you get off stage, That, it helps you stay engaged in the matches. Like, after, like, have you ref before?
I have, but just for like in-house tournaments at UFC, nothing like official. I like the local tournaments.
That's official. It's in-house. Like, someone's
watching. Yeah.
Like, get the experience. Like reffing, cornering, get all that experience in as much as you can.
It's so stressful. I can't. Like, I'm scared I'm gonna assign like the wrong points. I'm like, wait, which kids who? Like,
kids are the hardest. Kids are the absolute hardest because they don't hold the position.
Yeah, they're so scrambly.
All over the place. Like, oh, who was it? Like, and if you go to like IBJJF rules with the advantages too, and just like, who was on top? Who was on top? Like 2 and 2. Like, I don't know. Yeah, kids are hard. I think the higher level it gets, the easier it is to process because the guys competing understand the rules and they're trying to like. I definitely got the points. One thing I learned early when I was reffing was like points should be hard to score. So like if you can hold it for 3, you can hold it for 4. So like I'm always a long 3 on positions, but especially when I do like the local tournaments and I'm reffing, especially with the kids, man, like the crowd will be going crazy. The parents or the other kids, like, that was 3 seconds, that was points. And I'm like, points should be hard to score. Like, it shouldn't just be throwing points left and right. So like for me, it's like 1, 2, 3 points.
I like that. I like that.
And I think like that's how a large majority of refs learned it. And I want to get that out to people. Like, it's a long 3. I was talking to some guys. So like ADCC, you've competed in the rule set before?
I have not, but I'm familiar with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like scoring ADCC is like impossible. Like that's
Yeah.
why the score is like, 2-0. And just like you watch the match, like, how was that 2-0?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But they even tell people in their rules seminars, like, pretend it's 5. Like, it's not even a long 3 for them. It's like, it's 3 seconds, but you got to keep that guy down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he starts bumping up, we might reset the clock depending on how he bumps, like 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's how it should be. Like, make the points hard to score.
Position, yeah.
Yeah. Or like, if you pass a guy's guard, you should be able to hold him in side control, right? If you mount him, you should be able to stay in mount. So I want to get that to like the competitors and especially like the people cheering the corners. Like, you're not going to get a short 3. You're not going to get a 1, 2, 3 points. Like, and I hope most refs do that because it just made so much sense when someone explained to me like that. Yeah.
I love it though. Refereeing, I love refereeing.
What about cornering? How do you change like competitor to competitor versus like in the gym when you're just kind of coaching people?
Well, the way I try and like teach the guys is like when they're sparring, I let them spar and very little coaching.
Okay.
You know, like if Zach's going with a white belt, I may coach the white belt.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do it in a way to like it's like let's say Zach wants to go and travel and compete, like he doesn't need a coach because it's just him.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, when I coach these guys, it's like if there's like a position for points, like get on top or watch this or the guy's standing like this or he's flat-footed, you know, like basic things just to make him aware.
Yeah.
Instead of like trying to say, hey, do this, because I'm so, especially this guy, right, so confident that he knows what to do without being coached at practice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's the approach I take. But I like to be in the corner to be an extra set of eyes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
because even MMA, like if you're a fighter, you're not being coached the entire time you're sparring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you confuse the fighter a lot more when you constantly tell them what to do. Because, like, they probably don't even do that.
Yeah.
You know? Just let them be and just give them tips like, hey, the guy's trying to do this, get on top, you know? Kind of thing.
Being that you actually do compete a lot, what do you like to hear? Or what do you like your corner to give you?
Honestly, like you said, just obviously like blatant tips that I'm not seeing sometimes. Like, because obviously when you get tired and your mind's not there, like sometimes there's things that you don't see. But the most helpful thing is just the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time.
Yeah.
Like, because when I'm in the match, like you said, like I know what I'm doing, like I know what to do next, but just obviously you're not paying attention to the clock. So that's the most helpful thing is just yelling out the time, like 1 minute left, 2 minutes. So just I know like how much I got to work, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That definitely matters.
Or like if like the guy got an advantage that I wasn't aware of and they yell it out like, oh, he's up an advantage, you know?
Yeah.
Just so I know like, okay, like now I know my next plan of attack, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think like you hear corners shouting and they'll be like, there's 3 minutes. Like, is it 3 minutes left? Is 3 minutes past? Like, I want to hear like, you have 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
You have 2 minutes to work. And then the one, and I always get on people with this, where they yell out the score. I'm like, I don't need to know the score. I need to know I'm up or down by
exactly,
how much.
yeah.
The guy's like, it's 17-14. Am I 17-14? How many points?
Like do math in your head.
Dude, you need 3 points. Like you're down by 3, you know? Like that's all I want to hear as a competitor. And when you hear corners doing that stuff, you're up 3 points and 2 advantages. Like, I don't even know that. I'm up 3 points. We're good. Like I hate when I hear that, and I'm like, dude, do the math for the guy.
Yeah.
He's a little busy right now. That's cool. I think take that that competitor mindset, like what you want to hear, and then when you start coaching cornering guys, like give that back to them. Like like teaching or anything else, it's a skill, right? And it's like just because you're good at jiu-jitsu doesn't make you a good corner or a good coach or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, like you said, it's like it's really good, like especially at practice when you're not coaching the students, because even like when I did Jiu-Jitsu Con last year,
okay,
like, you know, when you're going out there, like pretty much no one has a coach up there. You know, like, I mean, besides like the big gyms that come down with their coaches, like no one has a coach up there. So it's like if you're so used to being told what to do during your matches, you're kind of screwed. Like you're just on your own.
Are you going this year again?
Yeah.
Okay, you got a corner.
Hopefully.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Let me know as it gets closer if you guys figure it out. I'm gonna be up there. The CGI is
Oh,
right
sick,
after.
okay.
My parents live in Vegas.
Okay.
But I always tell the guys from Hawaii, like, especially when you got like the guys competing and they're coaching or whatever. Like, if you have a conflict, just let me know where you want me to be at. Like, it's not like I'm gonna give your guy technical advice. I'm gonna shout out time.
Yeah.
But like IBJJF, the black belts are the only ones that can sit in the front row, right? And like, in the finals, you can call for the replays as a black belt, and it's like just that advantage of there's a black belt yelling for you.
Yeah.
You can influence the refs for sure. Like you can definitely, you're not gonna make them make a bad call, but if it's close, like you can kind of. And I've been on the both ends where like my coaches got me something, or the other coaches got the guy something. So like when it gets close, let me know. But I put that out for anyone in anyone really. But
Appreciate it.
Hawaii based. Like if you guys need a corner up there, like I'm gonna be up there. Yeah.
And just having the support, like having somebody in your seat instead of it being empty, like it makes you, even if the person's like, "Hey, come on, try harder," right? It's like better than
just stand up.
Yes, better than not having anyone. Yeah.
Kyle, you have actually not just jiu-jitsu corner experience, but you have like the highest level MMA cornering experience. What's that like? What was that like? That was
UFC?
pretty cool. You
Wow.
Kyle was a corner in the UFC
For Lewis.
multiple times, right?
Just once.
Just once, okay.
Just
Okay.
once.
What was that like?
Oh, the only thing that stands out to me about like it was cool and everything, but the craziest thing is when Lewis was sick.
Talking
growing
about
up.
Louis Smolka.
Louis Smolka.
Okay.
He was sick, and he like dehydrated himself so much that his eyes were in the back of his head. Like, I was like, whoa, that's crazy, right? But it was cool. Like, it was just such a long weekend that I didn't get to enjoy. Like, even cornering, like, it felt like I was still like in a little bubble.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it didn't, like, I could imagine like one of the fighters being in the cage, like it must feel big. But for me anyway, it still felt like it wasn't. I felt like it was like in a small building, you know. But it was pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and to get to see all the fighters, you know, it's like seeing superheroes. Live and up close. Yeah.
I like the events where they put you in big venues like that. Like, it's really cool.
Yeah, so it was great. It was a good experience.
Wow.
And I just wish I could have done it more often.
Wow.
You know, I have this weird goal from a long time ago. My goal is to have a hand in making someone a UFC champion.
Ooh.
You know, I can't teach him striking, or if I could teach him something little, like, you know, that'd be cool.
But you've coached other fighters that have gone to UFC. You just haven't cornered them. Yeah. Who do you think was the closest? Who got the closest?
I think Lewis was the closest. Yeah,
Lewis was top 5 at one point, right?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think he main evented a couple UFCs.
He main evented
the one
some
in
European Ireland. Yeah.
Like things fell out, and he got the main event spot. I think.
Is that what happened?
Cole,
I
Cole
remember
or
he fought so much. I don't remember who the guy was. You know the one that bugged me out with Lewis was Ray Borg. 'Cause he beat Ray Borg, right? He didn't beat Ray Borg?
That's the one we cornered him for. or I cornered him for.
And then what was the fight after that? And the guy got a title shot coming off. There was a loss. I think the guy came off a loss, and Lewis was in the top 5 at the time. And I was like, give him a shot at it. Like he's doing really well. He won the main event one, right? So I think it was after that when Lewis had to win. The guy who got the title shot, I think he was coming off a loss. Might have been Ray Borg though, coming off a loss, and it was
Ray missed weight.
Missed weight.
He missed
okay,
weight.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever the replacement, I'm like, give Lewis a shot. Like, man, he's exciting. He's scrappy. Like, he's never been in a bad fight.
Yeah.
Like the guy, like his heart was crazy.
Yeah.
And, like I mean, you grapple with him. This guy, you couldn't hold him down for anything.
Yeah.
He would just wiggle out of everything. Right? I'd have him locked in stuff. Like, I got you. And how did you get out of that?
I remember when I first went and helped the team, I was like, why is everybody getting tired rolling with Lewis, right? And then I rolled with him. I was like, oh, this guy doesn't stop moving.
Wow.
So I took that and I tried to implement it. Like, even if you're not just doing anything, just do something.
Yeah.
Right? And I was able to tire other people out, but that's what Lewis had. He had that skill of making people tired.
He was like a grounded salamander, man. He just he never stopped.
Yeah.
Well, the first couple times, I was like, what is it? Like, I can't figure this out. And even when you got him somewhere good, it was just like consistently. He twisted his body in weird ways. His shoulders were like, I don't know. Was he double jointed?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He was crazy.
He was skinny enough
good.
to be double jointed. I don't know.
He was crazy good.
You know who's good? Lowen.
Oh,
Lowen came to the UFC because he trains with like the MMA guys like Tyson and stuff, right? And he came in injured, like he was injured. And then I rode with him and I told him, I was like, we're very thankful you're injured because you would have killed us even more, even worse. Can't do nothing to that guy.
Have you trained with Lowen? Oh, man. He's one of the top fighters ever to come out of Hawaii, and he was at 1, right?
Yep.
One, yeah. I remember I had this talk, and like we were working out one day, and it was like, go to the UFC. And I remember the comment. It was something along the lines of like, I make so much money in water. Like my contract is so good, I would never leave. And I was like, how much do you make? I was already curious, like, what was your contract like? But when I talk to people that were at one or that, you know, or at one, and then you hear like, oh, like that's actually really good. I know some of the fighters are getting like monthly checks. Like they're not even fighting, but they get monthly checks. So it's like, oh, that's cool. And then they go out there, they get these, you know, endorsement deals and everything else. And I'm like, at the end of the day, like being UFC champ would be awesome, but if you're gonna set your family up forever, like take the money, right? At least some of it.
Yeah.
But Long was so good. Remember, we used to work out in town. Like that was a pretty crazy room. Russell Doan was there, right? Yeah, there was a bunch of guys, and I remember we were doing the box jumps. So like, you know, what is it, like 2 feet, 3 feet? You come up and off that thing. Man, Lowen was doing like my highest jump on this thing. And Lowen's, how big is he? He's 200 plus, right?
I don't know. He fights 150. I know that.
He was
55.
huge. He walks in there and he's a tank, and there's no body fat on this guy. And like the highest I could jump, he's doing box jumps on this thing. And I'm staring at him like, what? Like, how are you doing that? He was a freak of nature.
Yeah. I agree.
Lowen was awesome.
Speaking of freak of nature, what's her name? Alo. Tashaya.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's good. That whole family, man. They got some good genetics.
When I was in high school, I remember her and her sister at the state tournament for wrestling. I think there were 5 or 6, whatever. But you know that part where you can walk or run or walk in the middle?
Yep.
So her and her sister, for like an hour, the dad, I guess, just had them running. All they were doing is just 2 little girls just running around. I was like, what are they doing? And then you see them enter jiu-jitsu tournaments against the boys, and they're smashing the boys. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know who she was. I saw her on a blue belt tournament, and she was fighting guys. And I think she for sure beat one. I think she might have beat 2 other guys. And I was like, oh, that's pretty badass. And I was like, who is this person?
Is she black belt yet?
She's brown belt, right?
Brown.
She's still a brown belt. Wow. She's good, though. Have you got to spar with her?
No, I think only when I was at Elite.
Okay.
But other than that, I haven't rode with her.
How about you?
No, I've been on the mat with her. I haven't sparred with her though.
Okay, she's good. She's really good. Like her wrestling is so high level. So even if you start getting something good, like she'll revert back down, put you back on your butt. And she's so good, like front headlock to back combos. It's like you're just constantly chasing stuff.
And I remember not last time, but one of the times I was at a Kikoa open mat, and she was there. One of my brown belt friends, he like ended up dislocating his shoulder. And I was like, oh, what happened? He's like, oh, I rolled with Tashaya. He said she tried to do some like gator roll thing to his back, and like, yeah, it went wrong. And I was like, oh my God. He was like, yeah, dude, she's a beast.
She's a beast. She's not that big. What is she, like mid 120s? Like she's not over 130 for sure, right? Like she's not that big. Yeah, so it's crazy how she does it.
Yeah.
The sister's probably like in the 130s, maybe 140. But the sister's good too. What is she? Blue or purple?
She's purple, I believe.
Purple belt? Yeah.
Tanaya.
She's really good. She's a beast. Weird because she plays a lot of guard, and you would think she would wrestle more, but like she'll play guard. She'll wrestle up, but she'll also just attack from the guard. And then the brother. Have you seen the brother?
What's his name again?
Javen.
Is he the younger one?
Yeah,
I might have seen him.
He's a tank, dude. Like, just explosive, fast. Wrestling is crazy. Like he has jiu-jitsu.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah, like he has jiu-jitsu, but it's like he's big, so like guys don't pull guard that weight class. He's tossing guys around. You're just like, oh. Yeah, that family, they did it right. Genetics and hard work. Like, talk to their parents. Like, what did you do? Because they're all phenomenal. Like all of them could go far.
Start them young, 6 months old. You know what I mean? Stretch them, have them kick the pillow. I used to cover my baby like this and have her like kick my body.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you do? Your kid's training now?
Eden comes to class when she wants.
Okay.
And then Roman, he just wants to fight at home. Because if not in class, he's like, Daddy, Daddy. He just wants to stay by me. And it's like, oh, Roman, you can't stay by me, okay?
How long have you been training, Zach?
3.5 years now, almost 4. Yeah.
What got you into jiu-jitsu?
So it was a complete accident.
16, 15, 16?
16. Yeah. We had just moved here, and we were at the town center, I think. I was like super overweight at the time. I was like 202 pounds.
Oh, where'd you move from?
Missouri.
Okay.
But we were only there for 6 months. And then before that, we were in Cali.
Okay.
Yeah. So we just moved here. It was still summer, I believe, and like school was about to start back up. And like I was like so out of shape, so my dad was like, "We got to put you in something, like, because you're not just gonna sit at home all day for the rest of summer break." So we were like walking around the town center, and then originally I wanted to do Muay Thai because I've been in boxing and Muay Thai since I was in like 3rd grade.
Okay.
Yeah. So and then we went to the UFC gym, and then because of COVID, like a lot of their classes had shut down. But they just reopened the jiu-jitsu classes. So, we have jiu-jitsu. And I had no clue what that was. So then they signed me up for... So my first day wasn't actually a class. It was a private lesson with Jay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was like my first day. And then...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I just
That's a good person to start with.
Yeah, and then I just fell in love and like... Yeah, rest is history.
That's cool. That's cool. But you fight nowhere near 200. Were you 150?
I walk around like 168.
160.
And then before, like a few months ago, I was walking around like 163, so I would cut to 150s, but now I just compete 160s because like 8 or 9 pounds is like too much. Yeah, too much for me to cut.
And you're still growing. Like you might put on like good weight, and it's like
I know everyone keeps telling me I look more buff.
Yeah, good. I mean, that's a good compliment. I never get that compliment. They're always like, eat some food. I'm like, I'm trying.
Literally yesterday, one of our coaches went on vacation, and then he just came back, so he saw me yesterday in my rash guard. He's like, "You look different," and I was like, "What?" And he said, "Did you get taller?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Dude, you look like huge now." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
We lifted weights for the first time the other day.
Oh my gosh.
I like to see Kyle lifting weights. Were you lifting weights when you were competing? You were? Okay.
Just light, nothing heavy. Same thing.
I'm still sore. I don't lift. I hate it.
You started at 9 when no one knew what jiu-jitsu was. You also wrestled and did judo. And you placed at states? No? Okay.
No.
But
only in judo states, but not wrestling.
Okay. You won it or you just placed?
Just placed. Took 3rd in judo.
Where did all that come from? Because like a 9-year-old definitely with no internet in Hawaii wouldn't know what jiu-jitsu is. So how did you get into that? You were doing judo before that? No,
I just
explain this.
WWE'd my stuffed animals and tried to wrestle my cousins and wrestled kids at school.
Okay.
So no matter what my parents did, I just got into trouble. So my dad, it's all thanks to my dad, right? He told me once, he said, "One day you're going to thank me for putting you in jiu-jitsu." And I was like, "No, I won't," right? Because I hated jiu-jitsu till I was 15.
Really?
But I very much appreciate my dad.
Dad made you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember when I was 9, he like opened the phone book and saw Helson Shark in the phone book.
Okay.
Took me to Rainbow Gymnastics and...
Everything about that sentence is like, wow, how long ago?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a phone book?
I have not.
Oh boy.
No. just on a screen I see the phone book.
He doesn't even know who the Jetsons are.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, and he took me to Rainbow Gymnastics, and like that was all. That was it. And then whatever negative energy I had calmed down. But I used to make excuses. I'm like, "Dad, it's raining today. We can't go to jiu-jitsu." Right? He's like, "What?" So he took me. So like in a way, he forced me.
That's a good dad, though.
Yeah, he's a great dad.
That's a good dad. Like, you might not like this, but it's good for you.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be the best ever, but like you gotta go do something.
Yeah. And I heard one of my mentors. He said this a year ago, and he said he feels like he believes that sometimes it's good when we force our kids. Right? Like his son doesn't want to play guitar, but he's like, "One day you'll thank me for having you do guitar lessons." Yeah, so like I love my dad for that, for putting me in jiu-jitsu. And I remember I was like, "Oh, this jiu-jitsu thing's gonna be so easy. I'm gonna stone cold stunner everyone." And it's nothing like that.
Didn't work.
Didn't work. I didn't even try it. There's no room to try the stone cold stunner.
I mean, like, who were your training partners? Because even though you were a child, you were a big child, but you still were not big.
No, it was only adults.
Yeah, who'd you train with?
Mike and Chris and Brandon and
Brandon. Yeah, Bernardino.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like one of my main training partners.
Okay.
There were no kids, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was all adults.
Who else was in that room? Because there was some legends in that room.
Bobby Moss.
Oh yeah, Bobby Moss.
Malcolm. Alo.
I don't remember Malcolm.
Malcolm, yeah, he was like 400 pounds, I think, when he came.
The one that could do the handstands. I remember him.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he said he would do it drunk too.
Yeah.
He was like on alcohol walk.
Huge. Yeah. I remember he would just like handstand across the gym. He was huge. Was he 400 pounds? He was huge.
I think when he started, he was 400 pounds. He was so big that he could sit down and he could sleep on his stomach like this. I remember watching it like that. Yeah.
I never trained with him. I looked at him like, no, zero chance. No.
And he wrestled too, so
Yeah.
all those guys. And then, so Tuesday, Thursday was the only time they had jiu-jitsu. So my dad would take me to the main academy on Saturday mornings to go take kids class from Helson.
Wow. What was it like training with Helson?
Just so good, I don't know, but so simple.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't strict. He was just really good knowledge. It was hard training with his son, with Holland.
Okay.
I was once taller than Holland. Now Holland's taller than the buildings.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. You always had to keep your guard up with everyone. You know, but I loved it.
The times were different. The mentality was different.
The training was different.
Yeah.
You know, I remember reading this interview from Hodger years ago, and he said early 2000s you could train 3 days a week and be a black belt world champion. Now you train 7 days a week, multiple times a day with strength and conditioning, and still not good enough to be a world champion. Yeah.
I think the bigger the talent pool got, right, the more people that are doing it, the harder it is, and then there's guys who train professionally every single day, and it's like sometimes genetics and whatever, you know, where you're at, right? Like if you can afford the extra stuff, because there's definitely, I mean, like the whole Mika Galval thing, where like he was on some extra stuff, you know, designer extra stuff is what it sounds like, and he has natural ability, and he's like, you know, his whole family trains jiu-jitsu, some best team in the world. Like, how do you beat that guy?
One day the Matrix is going to be real. It's going to connect and have like Neo.
Just mentally, mental jiu-jitsu.
I always think about that. Once they have that technology, ching, I'll fly a helicopter too.
If you could be in the Matrix and be awesome, or be in the real world but have to like deal with the real world, which one would you go with? Both of you.
I haven't even seen The Matrix.
What? Do you know what it's about?
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. We're cutting him off. Get him off the podcast. Have you seen The Matrix? Oh man. It's a plug-in fantasy world that the large majority of the population's in, and it's like virtual reality, but like living in the real world, and you think you're there, like you don't know you're not there. So like the guys, one of the storylines is one of the guys was like, I want to be rich and famous and have all the hot women and everything. Put me back in, and he sold out the team in the real world. He sold out his team to go back into the Matrix. But I was like, what would you do, like if you were already out? And they're like, you can stay in the real world and live a real life. Or like, Kyle, I'll put you in there. You'll be a black belt world champ and like $100 million and a yacht and a couple supermodel wives that don't fight. Like,
real world.
But you know it's fake, right? Like you would know it's fake. Real world.
Real world.
Why?
Because it's real. Like we can die in the real world.
You could die in the Matrix.
I guess so.
Yeah. You don't get superpowers. You wouldn't be like Neo. You'd be like a normal person with a lot of cool stuff.
That's a hard question.
Oh.
I don't know. I just want to be good at jiu-jitsu. I just want to be good at jiu-jitsu. I always wish we had three. One of my wishes would be the best grappler in the world, and I would go straight to like the black belt division and just clean everybody up. You know.
Would it mean the same though if you didn't put in the work? You just got the magic skills.
Yeah, it would mean the same. It would mean Like when I would play video games, I would use a Game Shark.
Yeah.
And I would just winning everything. I'm like, great. I'm happy about it. You know. Cheating on the game.
We need to get you some of those designer steroids. Get you back in the game.
Oh no, just no time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
No time when you have babies and stuff.
How old are you now?
37.
37. Oh yeah, you're way past it. No chance. You gotta live vicariously through Zach now. What are your goals?
I think my biggest goal for sure, I want to own my own academy one day.
Okay.
World champion black belt in the gi and no gi. And I think those are the biggest two. ADCC too, if I have time, throw that in there. Yeah. But yeah, for sure own my own academy one day and just, let's see, inspire others for sure, help others, you know, through my journey. Like, yeah, you can have all the titles and stuff, but it's like what I feel like our biggest legacy is like how we impact people. Yeah. You know, so like not only do I like, yeah, the titles is nice, but I want to be known not just for my jiu-jitsu, but for like what I did for the community. Yeah.
It's good. It's really good. I think like being a good person and helping people, like it goes really far. Like the medals are cool and the accolades would be great, and like there's some money that comes along with it. But like if you change people's lives for the better, like that's
like I know jiu-jitsu saved my life for sure. So like I, you know, not only him, but I think about all the people even before him that like kind of like a collage of people that have impacted me and have brought me up to where I am today. Like I want to be that person for someone else too, and I feel like I already am starting like with I have like 4 main students in class. I know I got emotional on Naga too. Like one of them, he competed for the first time and he won, and like he came up to me with like tears in his eyes and gave me like the biggest hug, and he was like, I couldn't have done it without you, Coach Zach. And like I started getting teary-eyed. I'm like, don't make me cry. But yeah, like I just like the fact that I can be that person for someone else, like it just means the world to me.
What would you tell guys? Because you like I said, you spent very little time at Blue Belt. You got there and you said you were training every day. But like, what do you think contributed to you getting good fast?
I think I saw this phrase on Instagram recently, was like obsession beats talent every time. So like if you just, honestly, all you need is you just need to fall in love with it, be like obsessed with it, and like you will, like the talent will come with it. Like I was training every day, but like even outside of that, like I was like watching videos every day. I remember part of the biggest reason why like I accelerated so quickly was because, so I'm gonna go on like a story time.
Go for it.
So like a year into my training, I was a 2-stripe white belt. I took it seriously, but I couldn't train the way I wanted to simply because like I was still in high school. I didn't have a car. We lived in Eva Beach and the gym was in Mililani. So like the only times I could train was like when my parents could drop me off and whatnot.
Right.
So then senior year started and my parents made a deal with me. They're like, okay, listen, after school, because the high school I went to, Mililani, it's right across the street from the gym.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're like, you have 2 options. Either after school, you walk to town center and you camp out at the gym until class starts, and then we'll pick you up from practice, or we pick you up from school and you don't go back to practice that day. Because they didn't want to drive like back and forth like 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, I'll camp out. So what I didn't know at the time was Jay, he got to the gym early like every day at like 2:30.
Okay.
Because like he did like paperwork and whatnot. So after school, every day I would go to the gym to camp out, and he would be there early. And I guess he saw me there early one day, and then he was like, oh, you're here, I might as well put you to work. So he started making me do like different exercises, and then he got the grappling dummy, and we like worked on some stuff. And pretty much it was like that every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So for my entirety of senior year, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would come after school, and I was pretty much getting like a 2-hour private like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then class, and then on top of that, I started coaching as a white belt because he was like, oh, you're here early, might as well put you to work. So kids class would start, he would make me help out, and it did me good because at the gym, the policy, you have to be 18 to be a coach.
Okay.
So like as soon as I turned 18 and I got my blue belt, like he just gave me the job. Like
nice.
I didn't even have to interview or anything. Like he just hired me. So then I started getting like paid to coach. And yeah. So like he set me up like for success.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like the apprenticeship, right? It's like you have all the ability to do it. Like put in that work, and when you can actually put you on the payroll, like why not?
Yeah.
That's cool. You know, like that mat time where it's like you could use it, or you could play on your phone for 2 hours, right? But you were actually using it.
Yeah.
That's
I know
amazing.
even in school, I hate to admit this, but like even my grades started to, I'd be in school and like the teacher would give us free time to do our work. I'd be like on my phone watching like matches or like flow grappling or something. Like I was like so obsessed.
Like all these parents, they ask questions. I'm like, go get mats at your house. Like we don't have anywhere to put it. Like dude, put it on the grass. Like go buy a tarp and have your kids do it on the side. Like if you have access and you have another body somewhere, like if you got some kids coming by, like just getting those extra reps in compared to everyone else I go to the gym at 6 o'clock because that's when class is. Like it adds up, and especially over years, it adds up so much. So that's awesome.
And I even have like I think I have it on camera. I was practicing cartwheel passes. Like I think like that day I came after school and I told Jay like I want to work on my cartwheel passes today. So like he had me get like a yoga ball, and then I had a cartwheel with one hand on the yoga ball, like simulating a person. And then that same day I went home that night and I was in my room and I was practicing my cartwheel passes like in my bedroom, and freaking like one of them, like I went up and like I lost my balance and I fell, my feet like hit my desk, and there was like the loudest thump ever, and my mom was like, Zacheri, what was that? I cracked my desk.
Like Spider-Man up
Yeah.
there.
I'm doing like cartwheels in my room. It's just like a big thump.
Oh man. Okay, so you were in California, then you went to what did you say, Maryland?
Oh no, so I was in Cali, and then we moved to Missouri for 6 months, and then here.
So you're from California originally?
I was born there, but I was raised here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did that work? Like,
So my dad's
why-
military, so we move everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was born in San Diego.
Okay.
We moved to Washington for like just a little bit.
Right.
Back to San Diego, and then I started kindergarten in San Diego, and then we moved halfway through kindergarten here.
Ooh.
And then I was here from all the way till 5th grade.
Okay.
So I did all of my elementary here, and then after this we moved to Kentucky, then Cali, then Missouri, then back. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to put on kids.
Yeah.
Like the military careers are good, but like the kids are like constantly bouncing back and forth. But now that you're grown up, you're planning on staying here.
Yeah.
Are your parents still here?
Yes.
Are they gonna stay here also?
No, actually they PCS.
Oh wow.
By the end of this year, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your plans? Like just
Staying here.
staying
Yeah.
here? Oh,
Mhm.
it's good. It's really good. You got a good coach.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from Kyle.
Thanks. Thanks.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? Yeah. No.
I do, but I don't.
We can explore. I mean, we got time.
Has nothing to do with jujitsu.
We don't have to talk about jiu-jitsu. We were talking about the Matrix, man. We could do some Pokemon stuff. We can, like
Something bigger than that. Bigger than that. You ready?
Oh, okay, well, I guess
Bigger than that.
Hit me with something good. Okay, what we done?
After we die.
Oh, okay.
After we die.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think happens after we die to our soul? Like the body gets buried or cremated.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, I believe in a soul. Like a soul exists. Because like, kind of weird if it didn't. Or like kind of negative if it didn't. But I believe in God. Right? I mean, not but I believe. I mean, I believe in God. I believe in, at the very least, a higher power. But where does the soul go?
Do you think like heaven and hell kind of thing?
I'm gonna say potentially, because if you look at most thoughts through like the world, there's some version of like a good and a bad. But I think evaluation of the good and the bad is a hard one.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know. Man, this is a deep question. Right? Because I want to believe there's something beyond like I mean, we don't have a lot of years left.
Yeah.
Right? Like even if you live to 100, that's not a lot of time. Hopefully. But then if it's good or bad, like where was the, like, is it, I was trending good, but I did some bad stuff? I definitely didn't live all good. I didn't live all bad. I'm trying to do more good, right? I'd like to make a positive impact.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So let's say those two places were real.
Okay.
How do you think we get into heaven?
Is it intention or is it action? Like, what if you intended to do something good and ended up really bad? Right? Like, I don't know, driving your car and
Flick somebody off kind of thing.
not even that. Like, you see like a lady crossing the street and you're like, oh, so you swerve and then you go running over a whole class of kids. Right? Like, I was trying to save her life, right? And then I ended up, or you see a wall, you crash in the wall thinking like, I'll sacrifice myself, but that wall falls on top of those kids. And like, your intention was like not to run over these kids.
It was an accident.
But that's actually a bad thing, right?
Yeah, you look at it.
So was it like intention or was it action?
So there's a story in the Bible, right? King Manasseh.
Okay.
And when he was 12, he became king. But long story short, he worshipped pagan gods.
Okay.
And there's this thing called an Asherah pole, where he would have it in front of his kingdom or palace. And families would come and willingly sacrifice their babies on this pole to have crops grow. Okay. Right? They said he was the most evil person. Right? He had the guy Isaiah from the Bible tied between two trees and sawed in half. Oof. For worshiping Father God. Right? The most evil person.
That seems pretty evil.
See? And those kind of people deserve hell.
Okay.
Right? And so towards the end of his life, the Bible talks about he got arrested and he realized all the wrongs he did. And he asked God for forgiveness. And the Bible says God changed his mind about Manasseh.
Wow.
Right? So even if he meant to kill all these people, God still forgave him, right? So to go to hell, right? The Bible talks about murder and stuff like that. And Jesus also talks about if we gossip, it's murder. We lust with our eye, it's adultery. So we all sin. Myself, I fall short, and I deserve to pay for my sins in hell.
Yeah.
Right?
And with social media, it's hard not to lust with the eyes. Like every time I see a picture of Beyonce, I'm like, I get yeah.
We have to unfollow. Yeah, it's so crazy, right?
Yeah.
So then knowing that we all deserve what God had done, God did something for us to keep us from going to hell. What do you think that one thing is?
Sacrifice, right?
Sacrifice himself.
Yeah.
And so the way to heaven, even after we kill somebody, blah, blah, we ask for forgiveness. Right? We say, God, please forgive me. Right? And just by faith, we just got to believe the story that Jesus not only died, but he came back to life.
Yeah.
Even if we go to the Buddhist church.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? So, because we all die one day. You know?
Yeah.
And hell is a place where it's a place of falling, and it's a place where there's no relief from the sadness.
Right.
Right? Heaven is a place where there's no more sorrow. I'm sure there's jujitsu in heaven. But I don't know how they're going to, because I'm sure there's no pain, so how are they going to do the tap?
Oh.
You know?
It's just a respectful tap. Like, if I was alive, you would have choked me.
Something.
Yeah.
Or there's like a point thing. Like, once it goes straight, like the kids, that's the hardest thing about reffing kids.
Yeah.
Right? Once it goes straight, like the kids are moving, but like we need to stop it for safety.
Yeah.
Right? So I think heaven, something like that. But I just wanted to share, you know, because we can be 10-time ADCC champion.
Yeah.
But if I'm like, I don't believe Jesus, I don't believe he did that for us.
Right.
You know?
Oh.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. I was trying to control myself, but I couldn't help myself. You know?
No, good.
And that's what Jesus is doing on the cross, right? He's dying for our sins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's all.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Anytime. I love you, Alika.
I love you too. Thank you for coming.
I wish Gary was here. That would be pretty cool.
Gary would have been fun. We'll get him next time. He's busy surfing.
You guys came up with a name yet?
Oh, let's talk about this name. So the last time we were here, he threw out. I didn't come up with this, but he said Musu BJJ.
Musu BJJ.
And I was like, that's pretty good, right?
That's pretty good.
What is that?
Like Musubi.
Like Musubi. But Musu BJJ.
BJJ. Do you guys like Musubis?
I mean, who doesn't?
Oh yeah.
You don't like Musubis?
I love Musubis.
I mean, that's like, who doesn't like lemonade? It might not be your favorite drink, but everyone likes lemonade, right? Like, you never find someone like, I'm not drinking lemonade. Like, everyone likes Musubis.
I was thinking today, I was like trying to think of a name like Wong Hole or Foxhole or the wrong Wong Foxhole kind of thing. You know, I don't know.
So when he said it, I was like, that's actually good because there's like some Hawaii element, there's a jiu-jitsu element. We're trying to encompass that. Like the podcast is very Hawaii and jiu-jitsu based, you know. So
then you have to give your guests musubis, right?
That'd be a good prop.
You gotta have a little right here, a little tray, and like have them stacked up.
We could get from different places and then like have like taste test comparison.
Not all musubis are created equal, so
yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think the like the rice and everything is the key. Yeah, so that's what we're going with for now. Musu BJJ. But if anyone has any recommendations, we're open to take it because we need a name. We gotta get a name because we're trying to put this stuff on like Spotify and Apple Music and everything else.
That's great.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
thank you.
Signing off. Musu BJJ podcast for now.